Good evening, you're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. Thousands strong TYT open house at Astana Negeri. GPS seat allocation a non-issue. Putrajaya to study Sarawak's carbon trading law. The light morning drizzle on the first day of Shawwal did not deter the spirit of thousands of guests from attending Head of State Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jafar's Hari Raya Idul Fitri open house at the Astana Negeri today. This marks Tun Wan Junaidi's first Hari Raya open house as the Governor of Sarawak, following his appointment in January this year. The event, which started at 9 a.m., was attended by guests of diverse backgrounds who wished to have a close encounter with Tun Junaidi and wife, Tuh Puan Fauziah Muhammad Sanusi. The event was also attended by the Premier Sarawak, Dato' Patingidan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, and wife Puan Sri Dato' Amar Jumaani Tun Tuanku Bujang. Also present were the three deputy premiers, Dato' Amar Douglas Ugahambas, Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Asan, and Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian. Other distinguished guests include Deputy Prime Minister Dato' Sri Fadilah Yusof, Works Minister Dato' Sri Alexander Nanta Linggi, Tourism Minister Dato' Sri Tiong King Singh, heads of departments, community leaders, and members of the general public. Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS will discuss matters concerning seat allocation among its component parties in due time, following the merger of Parti Sarawak Bersatu PSB and GPS Progressive Democratic Party PDP. Premier Sarawak Dato' Paningitan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said the issue can be resolved among the parties involved.
No, it's okay. We will discuss when is the election?
No, it's so.
Huh? Definitely not this all. No, we will see what happens. After all, dua aja.
Dua aja lah.
Bak Kelagan, PDP.
PDP.
Tinggal Bawang Asan dengan Seratok, apa nama? Kelili. Ya, tu pulang pada orang lah. Kenapa dirondeng?
Additionally, Abang Johari said the merger solidifies GPS proven policy and track record for the people of Sarawak.
Yang penting ialah they acknowledge what they have done. That is important, kan? So the whole Sarawak should be united under one.
Earlier, Abang Johari was met by reporters at his Hari Raya open house at the Borneo Convention Centre Kuching, BCCK, on Wednesday. On April 7, PSB announced it was officially dissolved to merge with PDP. Former president of PSB, Dato' Wong Sun Koh, was then elected as PDP senior vice president, while Angkelili State Assemblyman Dr. Jonikal Royang Ngipa and Baklalan Assemblyman Parubian were named as the vice presidents of the PDP. The federal government will refer to Sarawak's carbon trading law as a reference in enacting similar law at the federal level. Premier Sarawak Dato' Patingidan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim has agreed to study the matter and urged Putrajaya to introduce the law without much delay.
That I cannot do it on my own as a state, but it has to be a national policy. And I was informed lately, Douglas represented me in one of the meetings, that the Prime Minister will introduce the law that will be based on our law.
Abang Johari said laws and legal parameters on carbon trading should be expedited as it involves matters between government to government, G to G.
Because it is the G2G.
G2G.
Meaning national government and national government. You see, apparently Singapore has signed, I think, with Indonesia. And I cannot sign without endorsement from federal government.
Last November, Sarawak became the first region in Malaysia to pass the Environmental Greenhouse Gas Emission Reduction Bill 2023. Among others, the bill aims to mitigate climate change and pave the way for Sarawak to generate income from new sources of revenue, such as carbon trading. A meeting to discuss the introduction of carbon-related legislation in Malaysia will be held after the Hari Raya celebration. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof said the matter was also pressed by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, who wants the matter to be expedited.
Sarawak dah bersedia dari segi perundangan, peraturan dan juga sistem. Cuma di peringkat Malaysia belum ready. Itu yang kita nak panggil mesyuarat supaya kita dapat selaraskan dan menjadikan undang-undang yang telah diperkenalkan di Sarawak itu sebagai asas untuk kita bangunkan undang-undang di peringkat Malaysia. Dan itu yang kita nak bangunkan, dan kalau kita dapat disegerakan, maka proses untuk carbon credit, carbon trading, carbon storage itu dapat berjalan.
Mesyuaratnya bila, Datuk Seri?
Saya jangkakan akan diadakan selepas raya ni lah.
Selepas raya.
Masa ni beraya dulu.
He said this to reporters at the premiere of Sarawak's Hari Raya Aidilfitri Open House at Borneo Convention Centre, Kuching, BCCK on Wednesday. Fadilah, who is also the Minister of Energy Transition and Water Transformation, mentioned that the matter was also discussed at the recent National Energy Council meeting. He added that the federal government also recognised Sarawak advance in legislation, regulations and systems in the sector, particularly carbon trading. Over 13,000 people from various backgrounds and walks of life attended the first day of the Hari Raya Aidilfitri Open House hosted by the Premier Sarawak, Dato' Paninggiran Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, and wife Puan Sri Dato' Amar Jumaani Tun Tuanku Bujang at the Borneo Convention Centre, Kuching, BCCK on Wednesday. Queues started to form as early as 9 a.m., even before the event started at 10 a.m., with many eager eyes addressed to the nines, hopeful to shake hands with the Premier. The event saw many non-Muslims joining their Muslim brethren in celebrating Hari Raya Aidilfitri, showcasing a display of unity and inclusivity. For many, it was the occasion to foster stronger bonds and deepen ties with one another.
Tahun lepas kami ada pergi situ, pernahlah pergi situ lah. Nang selalunya tiap tahun dari Tok Nan mari. Nang tiap tahun pergi situ. Lepasnya sebab apa kami datang situ, biasa kita tu sama Melayu aja datang beraya. Tu kata orang bilang kaum nak, ada OKU pun, laki pun OKU, ada lain dah OKU, dah Iban, dah Cina, Bidayu, semua bercampur.
I come here a few times already. I think probably since like 2017, 16, kind of like every year come here. Beside the MCO, of course, it's the environment and also the people, because it's crowded with people. So you feel festival, man. You don't feel festival every day. So when you come to have a festival, you feel very good because that it's like, oh, there's something different in the year. So that's why it attracts me to come here. I don't have so much Muslim friend, right? Yeah, so when after that we come here, oh, this is celebrating for festival like Raya. So everyone come to celebrate together, non-Muslim, Muslim all together. So I think it's quite warm. It happens in Sarawak, so I love that.
Saya bersyukur dapat datang ke sini meraya Hari Raya bersama. Bersyukur. Terima kasih selamat Hari Raya kepada semua yang agama Islam. Saya sudah sini sudah 2 hari sebab saya sungguh mau lihat merayakan Hari Raya ni dengan hati tenang dan hati bergembira.
Among those in attendance include the Governor of Sarawak, Tun Berhad Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, along with several federal and state cabinet ministers. Earlier, Wan Junaidi and Abang Johari joined thousands of Muslims in performing Idul Fitri prayers at Masjid Jami' Negeri in Putrajaya, led by the Grand Imam of Sarawak, Datuk Mustafa Kamal Ahmad Fauzi. Minister Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, expressed his support for the idea of a merger between the component parties of Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS, provided that the coalition leaders agree to it. Abdul Karim, who is also Parti Pesaka Bumiputra Bersatu PBB Vice President, emphasized that in politics, change is inevitable and nothing stays the same forever.
Well, that is his view. But in politics, one thing in politics, there's no real enemy, there's no real friends. There can always be changes along the way. Well, we never know. One day it might end up to be like that, but it's for the leaders to determine. Yang Berhormat Datuk Larry Seng can give his view, but whether it's going to become a reality or not, that is yet to be seen.
Karim said this to reporters at the Sarawak Premier's Hari Raya Idul Fitri Open House at the Borneo Convention Centre, Kuching, on Wednesday. Previously, Parti Bangsa Malaysia PBM President and Julau MP Datuk Larry Seng described the merging of Parti Sarawak Bersatu PSP and Progressive Democratic Party PDP as a positive development. He hoped that the PDP will also merge with Parti Rakyat Sarawak PRS one day due to their historical links.
Sarawak will join the 21st Malaysian Games Sukma Supreme Committee meeting at the end of this month to fine-tune some matters ahead of the Games. State's Minister of Youth, Sports and Entrepreneur Development, Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said that the meeting, attended by his delegation, will also present on budget allocation related to organising costs, sports facility improvements and existing challenges.
Pada penghujung bulan ini, Sukma Pusat kita akan mengadakan mesyuarat, kalau tak silap saya pada 30 hari bulan, dan pada masa itu kita akan membuat pembentangan untuk sedikit sebanyak apa masalah dan sebagainya yang sedang berlaku. Tapi pada masa ini semuanya berjalan dengan baiklah. Semua esko-esko sukan negeri akan datang untuk mesyuarat ini. Dia akan dipengerusikan oleh Yang Berhormat Hana, Menteri Belia dan Sukan.
Furthermore, Karim reiterated that Sarawak did not specify a funding amount, but hoped that the Ministry of Youth and Sports could provide an appropriate funding to ease the burden on the host state based on the outcomes of the presentation. Meanwhile, in terms of Sarawak athletes' preparation, he revealed that they are all set and ready for the upcoming 21st Sukma Games.
Coming up right after the break, King and Queen grace Idul Fitri gathering at Istana Negara and 4 still missing after plant blasts in Italy. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back. His Majesty Sultan Ibrahim, King of Malaysia, and Her Majesty Raja Zarit Sofia, Queen of Malaysia, today hosted an Aidil Fitri gathering for about 400 people at Istana Negara. Among those attended were Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim and his wife, Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, and Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil, Cabinet Ministers and their spouses. Also present were Chief Secretary to the Government Tan Sri Muhammad Zuki Ali, Public Service Department Director General Datuk Sri Wan Ahmad Dahlan Abdul Aziz, Dewan Rakyat Speaker Tan Sri Johari Abdul, Dewan Negara President Datuk Mutang Tagaw, Chief of Defence Force General Tan Sri Muhammad Abdul Rahman, and Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussain. Delicious dishes such as lemang, ketupat, rendang, satay, biryani rice, laksa Johor, and mee rebus Johor are served in a buffet style. The gathering was also attended by representatives from the diplomatic missions of the United Kingdom, Turkey, Egypt, Uzbekistan, Maldives, Senegal, and Ireland. Earlier, Sultan Ibrahim and Raja Zarit Sofia performed Aidil Fitri prayers at the Surau Utama Istana Negara. During the month of Ramadan, Palestinians face not only the spiritual and physical challenges of fasting, but also the dire consequences of warfare and blockades, casting a shadow over what is traditionally a month of peace, reflection, and community. Chief of Communication of the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF in Palestine, Jonathan Criggs, said unlike previous Ramadans, the people of Gaza live in a state of starvation and can only afford to eat once a day.
So, of course, it's a very different Ramadan than the ones the Gaza people have had before. And from what we hear, clearly, first of all, people are fasting also because they don't have access to enough food. So they most of the households we surveyed in the Gaza Strip, 70% of the households that we surveyed in the Gaza Strip, before this Ramadan, they had access to already only one meal per day. We have to imagine what does that represent. And so iftars, when the iftars are taking place, it's of course a moment to gather the family, but there is very little joy. And it's also important to note that from the colleagues who are currently, doing iftars, they're telling us that many bombardments are taking place during the iftar.
He said this during an exclusive interview with TVS for Dialogue TVS Plus program. Jonathan further emphasized the profound sadness stemming from the unrelenting Israel-Hamas conflict, compelling the residents of Gaza to endure the fasting period amidst the absence of their family members.
And for the families who are displaced, in the south of the Gaza Strip, currently in Rafah, you have approximately 1.3 million people who are living in very difficult conditions. Many of them have been displaced 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 times in the past, I would say, overall 6 months. So these people are very often not with their extended family. They cannot celebrate the iftar all together, and of course this is something which is absolutely devastating. It's very sad.
Since October 7 of last year, a significant portion of Gaza's population has been displaced due to the Israeli conflict, and much of the healthcare infrastructure in the besieged area has been destroyed. To date, over 33,100 Palestinian lives have been lost, with more than 75,800 reportedly injured. On to world news. Rescuers are currently still searching for 4 missing people after an explosion rocked a hydroelectric plant in Italy, which left 3 people dead. The blast occurred underwater at a plant on Lake Suviana, approximately 70 kilometers from the city of Bologna. Head of local authority of Bologna, Attilio Visconti, said the fire was believed to have broken out during maintenance work.
Sciagura veramente immane. Si trattava di lavori non di manutenzione ma di messa in opera di nuovi adeguamenti della centrale e purtroppo una turbina è esplosa e ha determinato 3 morti già accertati. Al momento ci sono 4 dispersi e poi 5 feriti gravi. L'episodio è avvenuto all'8° piano ribassato della centrale e al 9° piano si è registrata un'inondazione dovuta a un tubo di raffreddamento della turbina che ha allagato il locale per parecchi metri.
He further added that the cause of the accident is yet to be determined, but what happened is likely to fuel concerns about workplace safety in Italy. Meanwhile, Regional Fire Chief Francesco Notaro said there is a possibility that the missing people found shelter within the large space following the blast.
Nonostante lo scoppio ha determinato anche un allagamento, come ha detto il signor prefetto, potrebbe anche essere che si siano, dopo l'esplosione, magari abbiano trovato ricovero in qualche altra parte della piastra che comunque è molto grande, quindi la speranza è quella di trovare qualcun altro in vita.
Lake Suviana is an artificial lake located in the Apennine mountain range near Bologna. The lake was formed following the construction of a dam in 1932. At least 15 people were killed and more a dozen injured, all employees of a private firm after the bus carrying them fell into a mine pit in central India on Tuesday evening. The accident took place around 8:30 p.m. local time in the Kumhari area of Chhattisgarh State's Durg district. Preliminary information reported that the bus was transporting dozens of employees of a distillery company after work, before it skidded off the road and plunged into the mine approximately 40 feet. An inquiry has been ordered to find out the cause of the accident. Simon Harris became Ireland's youngest ever Prime Minister on Tuesday, pledging to bring new energy to the role but said that time is tight before looming crucial election tests. Harris, 37 years old, replaces Leo Varadkar, who abruptly quit last month citing personal and political reasons.
Ireland's parliament voted 88 to 69 in favour of Harris, who was officially installed at a ceremony with President Michael D. Higgins. Following an uncontested election after Varadkar resigned, the centre-right Fine Gael party, part of a 3-party governing coalition, selected Harris as its leader. However, he faces key elections within months, as well as domestic pressure to tackle crisis over housing and opposition to migration. On accepting the nomination, Harris vowed to lead in a spirit of unity, collaboration and mutual respect. Last month, Varadkar quit at the age of 45 as he no longer felt that he was the best person to lead the country.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.
Kami nak mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri 2024. Maaf zahir dan batin.
Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri. Maaf zahir dan batin.
Kami dari Bilik Berita TVS ingin mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
Hello there, I'm Nicholas Hillet. From everyone at TVS, we'd like to wish Selamat Hari Raya and maaf zahir batin.
Hai, aku Steward Awi dari Seksyen Berita Iban TVS. Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri. Kami dari Bilik Berita ingin mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin. Kosong-kosong.
Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
Selamat Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir batin kepada penonton setia TVS khususnya di Sarawak dan amnya di Malaysia. Dan buat sanak saudara di kampung, selamat Hari Raya, maaf zahir batin.
Hai, dengan ini saya ingin mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
Selamat Hari Raya, maaf zahir dan batin.
Hai, selamat Hari Raya, maaf zahir dan batin.
Kami ingin mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
Kami ingin mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
Selamat Hari Raya, maaf zahir dan batin.
Selamat Hari Raya, maaf zahir dan batin.
Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
开斋节快乐 Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
Kami ingin mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin.
Yang